Hello. Now I'm going to talk about the ePortfolio. I'm going to try and do it in under 15 minutes because if I go over 15 minutes then I can't record anymore. So I'm going to go through it really quickly. What the ePortfolio is basically a website that showcases your work, and it's got links to all of your work, and it's going to show off what you've done, show off all your hard work that you've been working on since September of year 10. Okay. This is what gets sent off to the moderator, and it needs to look like a website. It needs to have certain things in there. Okay. If we go and look at the mark scheme, you've got to produce for 6 to 7 marks an ePortfolio with an intuitive user interface, graphical elements facilitating access to the student's evidence. So what that means in practice is, here's my graphical elements. These are all rollovers. If I click on any of these, it takes me to that work. Okay. If you look at any website, if I click on this link, for example, this image, it loads that page. Okay. That's how it works. That's called an intuitive user interface. And that's what I need to see. I've got my links over here. Can you see up there? I don't know if you can see on your screen, they're highlighting. That's what I'm trying to do with this. So I put my mouse over these links here. They're highlighting. So I know that if I click on that, it will take me to that page. Okay. So the way we produce this is in Dreamweaver. Now, before we even go to Dreamweaver, you need to set up your folder structure. Most of you did this in year 10. It's on the O drive. If you didn't do this in year 10, or if you're new to school, you haven't got this done, you need to do this now. You need to go to your folder, and I'm just going to show you an example. I've got a folder in here called DA203 SBB. This is what gets burnt to the CD and sent to the moderator. In there, I've got 3 folders: ePortfolio, evidence, products. Okay. The ePortfolio goes into this folder. Can you see all my pages there? There's also an assets table, and all my images are going to go into there. It's really important that you do that. Okay. And just go back to here. I've got an evidence folder. This contains my review, my design log, my elements table, all those things, my proposal. And in here, I've got all my products: Blimp, Market Stall, Program, Street Banner. Now, just one thing about, go to the SPB now. And again, from my previous video, you'll know that to get to this, I can just Google Food Festival SPB. If I click on the ePortfolio link, there's something called a moderator's toolkit. Now, this is really important, and we need to talk about something else as well in there, which is on the second page, which is also really important: file size 30 megabytes. In the specification, you've got a sentence here that says all elements are effective and well matched to the audience and purpose. You must aim to get your ePortfolio to under 30 megabytes. So when I click on the properties of this, okay, it's got to be under 30 megabytes. Now this one is 43.7. That's not a huge issue, but to get that to that 7 marks, what I'd need to do, what that student would need to do, is take some of those elements and make them smaller. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Okay. So the ePortfolio needs to be laid out in a certain way. And when you create your ePortfolio, you're going to do it by taking screenshots of your work using the snipping tool, and then you're going to create AP divs, draw AP divs to put them in. Okay. So in Dreamweaver, I've created my AP div, and that has got specific size 256 by 252. Then I've gone to Fireworks, and I've created a box 256 by 252. I've then opened my product, and I've taken a screenshot of it using the snipping tool, and I've pasted that in there, and I've saved that as program rollover 1, okay, in my assets folder on the O drive. Now, if you just simply take a screenshot and you save that, it may be that the image is sort of 20 megabytes big. That is a huge problem. You can't do that. So what I'd recommend you do is this. You go to File. Instead of going to just a save, you go to Image Preview. In here, you've got an option to just check the file size there. And if it's too big, you can do something like you can scale it down there. You can choose a different file format there. It needs to be PNG, okay? but you can specify another file format there. You need to be keeping an eye on that. If it's going into megabytes, it's getting too big. It needs to be kilobytes, and around 100, 200, 300 kilobytes is 300 kilobytes is maximum for that. Okay, and that's a good tip for your exam as well. Click export, and you can save it as you would any normal image there. Okay, again, if you've got something in here and you're thinking, how come it's sort of 43 megabytes, I'd recommend you go and take a look at something like the design log there. This design log is 29 megabytes. And so what I'd recommend you do is maybe you open that, okay, if it's finished. And what you can do, and you can do this with publisher files as well, you can actually save it as a PDF. So go to File and Save As. Okay, again, open my folder there, browse to my folder, and here I can choose an option to save it as a PDF file. Okay, so I could click Save there. I can choose PDF and click Save. Okay.